So today's video, I'm going to talk about and show how to add an existing Xcode project to a Git repository. So in this video, I'm assuming already that you guys already have Git installed on your computer. If not, I definitely plan on creating a video on showing you how to get that installed, configured, and running. Um, and so, yeah, I'll definitely add it to the description once that video is produced. But in the meantime, we are going to go ahead and run with getting the whole Git set up, or getting the repo set up for those who already have Git established. So I use GitHub. GitHub is a free service for hosting your code as long as your repos are public. If you want to do a private repo, then that's when you got to start talking dollars. However, if you are a student, there is a GitHub student pack, which I think gives you free private private repos for maybe a year, or as long as you're a student. I can't remember for sure. But yeah, if you're wondering what Git is, um, Git is basically like it's a way to collaborate on code. I guess that's the easiest way to put it. It's a version control system. Um, that's all I can really say about it. Don't know like all the specifics on what makes Git different from other things like TFS and SCM. But all I know is like everyone loves Git, at least I do, and I'm a big user of it. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get to creating our repo and take an existing project, which is this My Twitter app project, which I've been working on now for a couple of videos. So I'm going to take this and put it on GitHub. So today, I'm going to go ahead and go to github.com. Mind you, this tutorial or this video is going to do everything through terminal, so we're not going to use like the GitHub UI or anything like that. So yes, I'm on this is my personal GitHub, and let's go ahead and do new repository. Of course, I'm going to make this public because I don't want to run up my private repos. There's no reason for this to be private. I'm sharing with you guys how to build this app, so I also want you to be able to download the source code from my repo. So the repo name I'm going to call it is My Twitter app. I'm going to call it sample though. Alright, so I'm going to skip the initialize. The reason I'm going to do that, or skip it, is because I already have the source code like locally on my computer and all that. So I just want to push it everything from there rather than initializing it from GitHub side. So do not click this. No need to add a license or anything like that. Just go ahead and make sure it's public. If you want to add a description, I'm just going to sample Twitter application, iOS application. My iOS Twitter app sample. Yes, that's better. So create repo. All right. So this right here, this URL is super important. Go ahead and click copy to clipboard because you're going to need it later. All right. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and launch terminal. So I'm in my home directory, and I keep all my projects in a subdirectory of my home directory known as projects. So I'm going to find where this project is actually located. So let's see, projects, My Twitter app. Bam, I'm there. See? All right. So the first step to take an existing project or folder and add it into a Git repo is to actually initialize a local repository. So we'll do that by typing git init, git initialize. So it's initialized. Now, I always like to do my main development in another branch that's not master. Master to me is like the branch that is like release. Like there's no bugs. You've built it. Everything works. And now it can go to master to share with the world. In the meantime, all the development and all that other stuff goes into different branches. So I usually have a master branch, a develop branch, which is like the branch before hitting master, and then I would create sub development branches and name it based off of what I'm doing. So like if I'm I don't know, adding a new feature, I would do develop slash whatever that feature I'm adding, and then push that up to develop, and then eventually push develop into master when I think it's ready. So rather than pushing this immediately to GitHub, I'm going to create another branch, and I'm going to call this branch develop. So to do that, I'm going to type git checkout. I'm going to add this -b switch, which basically says if the branch does not exist, then create it. And then I'm going to type the name of the branch that I want to create, which is develop. I'm going to do that. So what just happened here is git checkout basically says switch to this branch. Then I added the dash, or git checkout, yeah, switch to this branch. Then I added the -b, which says, and if it doesn't exist, create it. And then I specified the name of the branch. So I switched to a new branch, name develop. All right, good. So one thing I want to do is add a README file. That way when I look at my project on GitHub, I can add a description, I can give instructions or anything like that. Most repos have a README file that explains what the project is about and how to get set up and things like that. So we're going to do touch readme.md. Touch creates a file on Mac. Then I'm going to open it using Vim. Oops. And this, what do you call that? # hashtag means header level 1. If I do 2, it's header level 2. So I'm going to do header, and then just my iOS Twitter app. And then enter and WQ for write. And oh, did I do that right? There we go. All right, cool. Not so good with them, but all right. So created my README, initialized repo, created my new branch. Now what's next is I need to stage the files that I actually want to commit. So staging it is basically telling, hey, these are the files that I actually want to commit to my Git history. So Git is based off of history. It's a version control system, so it has history. So I need to commit these files, or yes, I need to commit these files to history. In order to do that, I need to tell it what files I want to commit, and to do that, I have to stage it. So to stage it, I do git add, and I want to stage everything in this repo. So I'm just going to hit period. That's going to grab everything in the repo. So I can check git status and see these are the changes that are going to be committed. Cool. So now that all my files are staged, I'm going to make the commit. So git commit, and then I add a message. I'm just going to call it initial commit because this is the first commit that I'm doing. Bow. Committed. Now it's a part of the history. It's official. Now what I want to do is get it to GitHub. Right now there's still nothing up there. So in order to do that, what I have to do is first I need to specify what the remote repository that I want to push it to. So specifying GitHub. So we're going to go back to that URL that we copied. Remember? And to do that, I need to say git remote, and then I want to add a remote repository. So add what is how I'm going to refer to this remote repository, what the name is. By default, it's typically just origin. So it's like where the project originated from, I guess. So origin, and then you specify the URL of the actual remote repository. Enter. And now we're ready to push. So we do git push. Before we do that, let's make sure that our remote actually was set. So yes. So origin is a remote repository that we have used to fetch things about the project and to push. So we're going to do git push. Now, since this is our first push, we first need to establish a tracking branch. Meaning, if I do git push, I'm going to get an error message saying that I don't know where you want me to push this to. You haven't told me, what branch I should push this to, right? So to do that, what we do is add -u, which means set tracking, or set this to be the tracking branch, whatever I'm about to specify after that. So I want to first select the branch that's in this remote repository origin, and then the branch that I want to be the tracking branch is develop. So develop did not already exist on my remote repository, so it created develop on the remote repository origin, which is here, github.com/whatever. And then it set the remote tracking branch to that, and then push. So now in the future, I can push by just doing git push, and it will automatically know to push it to origin develop, because that is the tracking branch. So now let's verify that it got pushed up, and bam, there's our code. And as you can see, my incorrectness with Vim caused me to put this in there. But initial commit, here's all my files. My iOS Twitter sample, my README. Cool. And if you're using Xcode, it did not refresh. Why didn't it refresh? Let's close this out and reopen it. Xcode should recognize that it's a Git repo. And it didn't for some reason. Oh well, we'll leave that alone for now. But hey, so I don't have a master branch because I didn't create a master branch, right? So I am going to create a master branch now. So git checkout -b master, and same thing, git push u origin, spell that right, refresh, and now I have a master branch, and it's even with develop. So, and we see our one commit, which is our initial commit. So, congratulations, you have just created a GitHub repo, or a repo somewhere else if you aren't using GitHub, and you successfully took an existing project and added that project to a remote repo. Congratulations, you're awesome. Thanks for watching. If you liked, go ahead and click the like button. If you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe, leave a comment. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.